Okay, so you can see my desktop. Everything's good? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so in today's workshop, we're going to use ChatGPT to support everyday writing tasks, improve clarity and tone in your messaging, generate ideas, draft faster, save time while staying true to your community, and make ChatGPT work for you. So, what is ChatGPT? Um, the basics for it, it is a language model. Basically what it does is it takes all the information on the internet and it is able to summarize it, um, think about it, and using other people's creative work, it's able to write to you. And it's pretty impressive, like watching ChatGPT, because it started in November 2022 and how much it's evolved over time has been like drastic. It just keeps getting better. It understands what you're trying to say to it a lot more, and the responses have been a lot better. There's something that actually there's an update that they did recently where they made ChatGPT more familiar with who you are and like get more personal. So if you might have noticed it, if you went on there, it would it say your name and it like started trying to like get to know you a little bit better, but people got creeped out. And so it's took back that update. So now it's trying to just be trying to just help you as is, not trying to get as personal to you, which I could see being a little scary. And then, so what are the best uses for using it? Drafting emails, memos, newsletters, writing social media captions, generating ideas for campaigns, rewriting formal context in a conversational tone, summarizing large reports. ChatGPT is best for summarizing anything that it can do to take any information and then put it into a um, refined text is what its strengths are. And so, before we go on, I thought this would be a good place to pause and to maybe do some breakout rooms. I noticed that some of you are more into it than other people, and I thought this would be like a good way to connect and start talking to people. So, Michelle, do you want, I'm like, am I have the ability to do this?
Let me see here. All right. Breakout rooms. Do you want me to do it at random?
Yes. So first, let's go. We're gonna go into breakout rooms of like, can we do three?
Okay.
Three each. And then in this breakout room, I just want you to say, like, if you have no experience with ChatGPT, um, that's fine. We you can listen to other people who have. And for those of you who have, I would just like you to start talking to each other about like what are some of the kind of things that you have been using it for? What have you noticed that it worked for your community? Just to get the conversation going a little bit. Okay, Michelle, whenever you're
Okay.
ready, you can send us off.
You got
Anybody want to share anything that came up in their breakaway group that you think would be good to share with everybody?
I will, because I was just totally amazed. I was telling the ladies, Denise, and just get my I still got to get my mouth around Bronwyn's name. Very different name, very beautiful. I just I was explaining that we're starting a food sovereignty program here, and I needed interview questions, and and then we wrote a poem, we wrote a short training book, and all in a matter of minutes. I was just totally blown away. And if that's just the tip of it, I'm amazed at what it can do. Like, holy crow, I'm just waited so long, too long to find out what this GPT is all about. It's pretty phenomenal.
Once you start to explore it, it's like it's incredible the amount of things that you can actually achieve with it.
But what Denise said is very concerning. Is it secure when we use it on our computers?
It's secure in the sense that so like okay, there's this influencer I follow and she built out a whole program. I know her program is all on ChatGPT. I know that she puts all her information into ChatGPT. So I asked ChatGPT to, based on the information that she of her, to create for me this like video outline and like based on her teachings. And because she puts all her stuff in there, ChatGPT was able to like fully build it out in her voice.
Oh my Lord.
Wow.
Ooh, I see that's where the scary part comes in. I was saying it's awesome and scary at the same time.
Yeah, because it like it knows like once you start inputting that data into you, it knows who you are and it knows like what you write. Like you
Hmm.
could actually ask it, this is this creepiest thing. You can ask it to make a persona for you. And
Yeah.
it like it got me to it got my name wrong. It thought I was somebody else because I made a video for somebody else, and that was creepy. But it like it understood like how what I like to talk about, like what I like to include in my stories. They're like, you like everything impactful, and I'm like reading it, and I'm like, oh my God, you know
But
me.
that was based on the information you had already used on ChatGPT, right?
But just based on my
Yeah. Okay,
interactions,
I'm just
the
checking.
things that I do.
Yeah.
It didn't even look
Okay.
at my website or anything. Yeah, so it's like it's you if you have like information that's like sensitive,
Hmm.
private, I would suggest not including like
Yeah.
names
Yeah.
or those things because like it's happened before that people have included that and other people have been able to find those stats.
Yeah, that's
So
not good.
be sensitive with that, but otherwise
Well,
like
that's good to know. Is there a place, I'm sure there is, we can find those guidelines about Chat GPT and what kind of exposure we have to our information? Because if
ask
it's
it.
recording it forever and a day, then we need to be careful about what we're putting on there, right?
Yeah, ask it. I would just ask it flat out.
Oh, there we go.
That's
So yeah, probably right on there. Good point.
Terry,
Wow.
were you saying something? Terry, you're on mute. I just see your lips moving.
So, yeah, I just downloaded the app, and when you sign up, it gives you you can ask, that kind of stuff, and it gives you a beginner's tutorial type thing, and yeah, so yeah, it's all on here what you want to know,
Okay,
and
thank
the
you.
privacy part.
I think Mr. Denise has her hand up.
Yeah, that was the question if it's safe to use it on your work computer and
It's
work
safe to use it on your computer. It's
organize.
not going in and like checking all the rest of your files. It only checks the files that you upload to it. So
Okay,
like
and
if
give it
you're
access
using
to,
it with sensitive information, then it has access to that information.
only if you upload it or give it access.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
share it. So like if you copy
yeah,
and
okay.
paste, but the more information you give it, the better it
The
does.
smarter it gets.
So it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it makes
How
sense.
much is too much? Kind of
Hmm.
thing. Okay.
Interesting.
So it's, I'm sorry. I gotta learn to put my hand up. I'm always cutting up people off. I don't know how to do that. I
Go
just
ahead.
was just wondering if ChatGPT is worldwide, so do we have access to worldwide information or just a certain,
I think we do.
yeah, okay,
I think
that's
we
what I was
do. I
wondering.
think like it's open and it's
No wonder
growing
it's so
and
smart.
it there's a reason it's getting so smart and it knows you so well and you feel like it's got a ticket to your soul.
As you pant.
Totally knows you. Okay, let's I'm just gonna this is what I've said here is just like some basic stuff. So I'm just gonna go through just a couple more slides and then we're gonna go into a demo. So how
Okay,
to talk to ChatGPT. The more information you give it, the better it's going to create a response for you. So like if you want write a social media post about an event, or if you write specifically, you write the Facebook post to remind members about upcoming event and you're clear and you're specific, then it's going to understand it better. So what are you writing? Who is it for? What's the tone? And what are the key details and goal? The who it's for is more important than you think because it can actually start to craft towards a certain audience for you. You can have different audiences in different chats going on, so that you know that that's your information is going for those people. And then tone, it can really change how um you tell it to act, like how it will structure everything. For me personally, I just keep writing, make it more inspirational, make it more impactful. That's like my one word that I repeat. And I'm sure you guys all have words that you repeat to it and tell it to do because you start to get that relationship with it. And
I
then,
was very upset with a neighbor about something and put my email into ChatGPT and I said, make this sound friendlier from a neighbor. And it totally took all of the hostility out and made it great because, you know, when you're upset, it's hard to make it sound friendly. So it was actually super helpful.
yep. My teacher, my TV teacher, she used to say, like, write the email, like what you want to say, and then add niceties to it. So now I just like write my facts and I'm like, now make it nice. And it can make everything good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to like have it perform. And then also, so like start with like you can have your nation's tone to it. Like the more you create stuff, the more it understands how you want to write, what kind of how you want to sound. A good thing to like get your tone is like maybe even in like share your nation's like website or any website information you have or like like writing that you have that you like already and tell it to keep that tone throughout your all your conversations and it'll keep it more aligned with your values. You can
Yeah.
add values into your prompts themselves and then reflect values like respect, clarity, inclusion when it's writing. So you can ask for it directly.
I
Okay.
imagine it must be culturally appropriate too, then.
Yeah. And then this is editor mode. I'm gonna show you how to get to editor mode. And this is like, can we switch to editor mode? I'm just gonna go into ChatGPT and we're gonna start. Um, so here on the side, this is where you have all your conversations. It starts by like, you can see I was working on the workshop for this one. So I have like a whole chat about that. But with these, it's really good to have like a heading for your title where you go back and you go and you continue the story. So like for the workshops, I have um it writes out slides for me. So I have like all my workshops are in one chat. I can go through chat with ChatGPT and update things as I need to. It makes my slides with me. We work in editor mode to update them, and it knows that when I do the next one, how it's already aligned with how I talk to it. And then I have other ones on the side. You can actually, I noticed it recently, you can share threads. So if you have a thread for, say you're doing an event and you do or like all your communication for that event is going to be in one, just share it with the people you want and then you can keep going that way. And then I'm just going to start with a new chat. And so when you're writing a chat, actually, this is a cool thing that I've learned, um, adding information to it. So you can actually add, um, like, see if I have my notes. Like, is there something that I can share with you guys? I didn't think about this till today. Um, Say for example, you're gonna write a note, your notes at your meeting about what you do. I'm just gonna write a couple notes on this page. Notes. This was great. And then, sorry, I'm just finding my phone. Where's this behind me? What you can do is you can take a picture of your notes, and then with the picture of your notes, this is going to be a really horrible note because I really didn't write anything in it. But with your picture of your notes, you can actually add it right into ChatGPT. So we can add your files. Where's my note that I airdropped to myself? Here it is. And it's going to read your writing and it's going to analyze what you said in it. And then it's going to create something based on that. a good activity that I saw for this is I did like a business course. And in the business course, they said write to yourself as though um you are 1 year from now and your business is where you want it to be. And just make a note, just daydream and write about what you want your business to be. And then upload the photo into ChatGPT. And then the prompt was, based on this, give me a timeline of what I need to do to make this happen and achieve this within 1 year. And then create it into bite-sized tasks so that I can achieve it. So like it's not just good for writing, but it's also good for big picture strategizing. So like other things that we can do, you can add your notes, or you can even add like if you have like here, this is a chat from a webinar that another organization I work with did about their food sovereignty grant. What they
Oh,
did is they downloaded the chat for me and they sent it as a text file. And then I can go into the actual chat and I can say based on the chat, um, give me a summary of what were key issues. And it's going to read the document for you, and it's going to summarize anything you want to do. So, um, people's concerns, what they wanted to know about it, all their questions, is just going to appear right here. And then let's say we want to turn this into a guide. You got to wait till it stops writing because it's like currently writing. So you got to wait till that stops before you can actually do anything. And let's say we want to transform this into a 1 page guide that will be helpful for recipients. Don't care about your spelling. It does not matter at all. Your grammar does not matter at all. Just keep going with it. Um, make it to the point and let's see, we're gonna make it friendly and um and then so this is what I do if I want to like really be able to find like work with ChatGPT is I ask it to get me into editor mode. With editor mode, I'm able to interact with it. So let's say go to editor mode. And then so I'm just gonna wait for the response. And so see how it like changed into this like um this different thing. It's like a separate chat. Well, this now I can easily edit. So I have 2 ways of editing this. One, let's wait for it to. This is the food sovereignty grant for NRT.
yeah, I might want this when you're done. Because that's
Nice. Well, you
coming up
have till the
fast.
20th to apply. It
I
opened
see
today.
that.
I think
NFRT?
it's only in BC though, I think, just so you don't get
Oh,
BC.
excited.
oh, okay, thank you. I know
Okay.
it, and it's true. The submission dates are short, and you by the time you get a chance to write anything, it's closed. I've missed a couple already.
Yeah, they're very quick because the funding goes so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have 2 ways of editing this together with ChatGPT. The first one is to use this thing on the side, and what this is it's going to
That's the editor.
yes, with the editor
Okay.
on the side, this is going
Okay.
to edit the entire page. So let's say make it less formal and like your like less formal and in I can say like make it in NRT's style, word style.
Oh,
Here is their website. or so you understand how they talk. So you just add the website. It's going to gather information from your website and it can update the whole thing to make it more on tone with how you talk on other parts of like your website. For this, you can actually add like different writing styles. So like say for example, if we want to change this and we want to add it so it sounds like I don't know, like an English writer wrote it from the 19th century. Like it's anything. You can change this and say you want it to be like The Rock is saying this to you. You can use anybody who has enough data out there to compare it to. And then the cool thing about the editor mode is so like say we're writing this and we're creating this document, but here we don't like this paragraph for actually let's say we don't like this one. You select the part of the paragraph that you want to actually update. And so you just press the ask button on the side, and then it can fine tune um, this specifically. So give 5 more questions and answer. And it's going to show the answer is going to show up here, but it's going to edit this section for you specifically. So it can really get specific on what you want to change in it. And it's very helpful if you're creating a document. So if you're like, why is it failing? If you're creating a document or something that you want other people to be able to access and work with, then you can easily work on this as a team in the editor mode. See how nicely it just added questions out of the chat? The more sources you give it, or like we could also even add like the website page for this to give it more sources. We can add our um competitors ways of doing things to add more sources into it and then create like an actual thing. Does anyone have any questions or anything they want to share now?
Pretty amazing.
It is pretty amazing. Let's try one more thing. Let's see, let's work together into so let's get out of here and let's do a new chat and let's do something that maybe you guys would be interested in creating. Is there let's work on it as yeah, let's work together. So is there something coming up that you guys need writing for? You can just say it out loud. Any ideas?
Communication policy.
Okay.
We all need that.
Communication policy. Who is it for? So
For BZA, I don't know if you can spell it. For my First Nation community.
community. Okay. And then this is where it's up to you to give it as much information and completely like brain dump what you're thinking. So you're not really worried about getting your sentences correct. You're not worried about any of this making sense. You're just worried about getting things down. So anybody's welcome to talk in this. Just include what do you think is important for a communications policy for a First Nation community? Um,
Transparency Act. Transparency Act? How do you say it? Transparency Act.
Transparency Act. And what are you going to talk about in there? Summarize it quickly.
Just what its requirements are. Transparency Act requirements, yeah. Well, the
Okay.
whole idea is to have it comes from different chief and council, how they communicate with its members. Then there's use of cell phones with it, you know what I mean? There's different it's a big document, I think it would be. And then there's what do you call use of cell phone? Do you get paid to use your cell phone at work? You know, that kind of stuff. What is the protocol for complaints? That type of, you know, the communication between our leaders and the people and the employees. It's all inclusive, actually. That's what I'm hoping to get. I was just curious to see what it would do. Does that make
Perfect.
sense?
Yeah. Does
And
anyone
if
else have
anybody
anything
else
else
has
we could
something to
add to
throw
this?
in, yeah, that
Yeah.
would be very helpful if somebody else could add to it. Because my brain is only can think so much. Does everybody have communication policies in their workplace? Just I need to ask. But
I think we have some, but like we don't like our policies need to be updated.
So
And
what,
we don't
Yeah.
really
like what
have
kind
a
of
lot of
things? Like,
like
give me some stuff to add to here.
I don't know, she said a lot of good things.
What
But
else you got?
let me take a look at our policy.
How to use social media, using
Social media
social
would be good.
media.
yeah, that's good.
I don't know, like I have a question for people. Do you for your social media, like Facebook, for example, do you have your comments on or off?
We have ours off.
And is it usually because members are can be very toxic?
Mhm.
Yes.
Can be. So what we post on our Facebook is the posters that the departments, like if they're having an event or anything like that, then it's their poster. So then it would have their contact information on it. So and that's usually what we make sure to let them know on our Facebook pages to for more information, look at the poster, you know, for contact information.
We have our Facebook comments on, but members know that if they're being negative or toxic like 3 times, then they're blocked.
That's a
So
good one.
That's really good.
yeah,
Do
because
you guys
like
have a policy in place for that? Because that's
That's what
something
I'm.
that I would like to do. Like I would like to still give our members a voice. It would be nice, but
yes,
we
yes.
do have people who can be really really
Well,
toxic. But I mean there's questions that I'm sure people
mhm.
have that like sometimes it's hard to even get questions, like just general questions sometimes through our office.
Yeah, so they're like being toxic, but asking a really good question at the same time, right? Or bringing up a really good
Point.
point of view. So yeah, but no, like if they're just, we have a little like a notice on our Facebook page just saying be nice to people, especially the workers, right? Because we're just the workers. So
Mm-hmm.
we have a little notice saying that just to make sure to be polite and everything, right? So, but you
Okay, that's
know,
good.
yeah, but you know the people that
Y-
are just going to be negative and be toxic,
That's
right?
true.
And that's all, yeah, and that's all they're going to be. So those people
Yeah.
are already blocked.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it'd be nice, but I did bring it up before. I said that it'd be nice to have people like have open, but
Mhm,
it does get out of hand. Sometimes one
mhm.
question leads to another, and it's the rabbit hole.
Oh yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, we also have a member that just comments like pages of just comments, just notes and stuff. So we just let him go because we look through it and we want to make sure that there's no questions. It's mostly comments. And it like we're trying to get into treaty, so we get that way worse than a normal page would, right? So yeah. Yeah, we've kind of been handling it that way
Oh, thank
because
you.
they do still need their voice, but yeah, if it's
Yeah.
all negative, then we don't want to hear it.
Yeah. I also think like for like our page, like we're pretty highly followed because we're so like because we're in Ontario and we live, if you guys know Thunder Bay, Ontario. Thunder Bay is like
Mhm.
literally across the river from us, so like we're very close to like the city. Um, so it's just like generally I'm like, oh, we want to be able to be presentable in a good way, so that it's not negative all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm just a couple hours away down in near McDermott, Beardmore.
Okay, so I put a bunch of the stuff that you guys were talking about in here.
Can
And
we,
let's
need
see.
terms of reference,
Oh, pardon?
or do we? I don't know. I'm just, I don't, do we need a term?
So it's gonna like create like Transparency Act. You will
Yeah,
just tell it like,
that's what I was wondering about meeting minutes. Perfect.
Wow.
and then you have a starting point.
Oh,
So like you just word diarrhea. It doesn't matter what you talk about. Like word diarrhea with like even when you guys are in like a meeting with like a bunch of people, when you're talking about this communication policy, if just tell them just to say whatever's on their mind, and you just type the nonsense. Like it didn't all make sense while we were like what I was talking, but like all the key points that you guys were talking about, it's here, and then we can get it to like go in and extend on anything. Tell it what nation you are. You're like
that's amazing. I'm so impressed. Oh my Lord.
So, I have a question.
Yeah.
I've been working on a new post-secondary policy, operating guide, really. So I actually have it all done. But if I put that over here, uploaded it and said what, like, to improve it somehow, or?
So I would say, what do you see that I'm missing in here? What would you add?
Right.
Reorganize it in an order that it makes more sense. Um, how would you structure it differently? Like you work with it to get the feedback.
Okay.
Last thing to share, I'm gonna give you off to Michelle to finish off. Um, if you don't like, if you don't like writing, you can always just go into the microphone. I don't have this allotted, but it's I guess I'll let it go. And you can just talk into it and tell it what you want it to do. And then it's going to actually give you like right in here, but you can switch into the audio section of it and it will like talk back to you. It's like a conversation that it's going to have to you.
Oh,
So if you're not a writer, be a talker.
wow.